Hello everyone, Dr. Jeff Galini here, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Scientist. This show is about busting myths and bringing you the truth. Get lots of good questions from Instagram, Facebook, I don't know, TikTok, however people communicate, they find me. Anthony wrote in and said, Dr. Jeff, should I avoid gluten? My Facebook group says it will kill me. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for bringing that question to me. First of all, gluten will not kill you. Now, if you have celiac disease where you can't have gluten, it's not going to kill you, but it's going to cause you a lot of issues. So let's get back to gluten is basically the protein in wheat. It's found in a lot of different things. And some people, for some reason, lose the enzyme, lose the ability to digest that. And that causes a lot of digestive issues. Again, it can lead to some diseases, and people who do have things like celiac need to go gluten-free. I did a show, oh my gosh, it was on one of my Science for Humans shows. It must have been 5-6 years ago, and it was about gluten. And I went on to basically educate people what gluten was, what some of the side effects were, and if you were experiencing some of these side effects like stomach bloat, having trouble sleeping, migraine headaches, you eat and you got to run to the bathroom, you might be developing a slight gluten intolerance. So I suggested that they wrote down their ailments, went off gluten for 30 days, and see if any of those ailments disappeared. Well, while I was preparing for this show, and it wasn't until I was actually delivering the show that I was thinking in my head, my gosh, I have some stomach bloat and I do have some trouble sleeping. I think I'm gonna go off gluten and see what happens. Well, I went off it, and my gosh, my sleep, great. Most of my stomach bloat disappeared. So as a personal choice, I decided to go gluten-free and not eat gluten. But that was more just a personal choice. It wasn't for the fact that I think I really have a gluten intolerance. I think it just does bother my stomach some. But for you, if you don't have any issues, no, gluten is not going to kill you. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't listen to a lot of people whom give their opinions. It's always best to go to the experts or do some research yourself. Now, if you have a lot of digestive issues, headaches and such, try going off gluten for 30 days and see what happens. But you got to be very careful if you're going to do this, because it's more than just bread. You've got to look for all the things that gluten is in. Modified cornstarch, gluten. You'll find it in all jellies and barbecue sauces and lots of stuff. And of course, most all processed frozen foods contain some gluten. So you got to do a little bit of homework to find out what you're eating to make sure it doesn't contain gluten, and try it for 30 days and see if you feel better. If not, then don't worry about it. All right, my friend, take care.